I want to start with the accusation of the occupation.
You're not going to want to miss this. This is Brigitte Gabriel on Piers Morgan Uncensored, giving the boys quite the history lesson.
Israel was minding its own business ever since it existed. It reached out to the Arabic world. It wanted to have peace with the Arabic world. In 1964, when the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, was founded, the West Bank was in the hands of Jordan. It was Jordan. And Gaza was in the hands of Egypt. It was Egypt. So the PLO was founded in 1964, not because of any occupation. They wanted to drive the Jews into the sea and get rid of every single Jew in the Middle East. Israel tried repeating. The only reason the Palestinians lost in 67 and they lost Gaza and the West Bank is because they preempted an attack against Israel. And over again, Israel reached out to them to make peace with them. In 2000, Ehud Barak offered them 97% of the territories back, and they refused it again and again and again. In 2005, when Israel withdrew out of Gaza, they said, okay, we're going to give you your own state. We're going to give you your own territory. Israel forcibly removed its own people fighting the IDF by force, removed them out of Gaza. Not only to remove the people, they dug out dead Jews' bones from the cemeteries because they knew exactly what the Palestinians are going to do to the cemeteries. So in 2005, when Israel withdrew out of Gaza, there wasn't one Jew alive or dead in Gaza. They turned over the key to them and said, okay, great. Now build your own place. You are independent. I know people that Israel even left them the greenhouses. Israel was exporting 50 million flowers to Europe in 2004 out of Gaza. The greenhouses, the fruits, the vegetables, the flowers. They left them to the Palestinians so the Palestinians can start they can have an industry where they can support themselves. I know a businessman from New York who even raised $14 million to make sure the Palestinians will be able to get paid salaries as they move over and they continue building the greenhouses. And what did the Palestinians do within 24 hours after Israel withdrew? Not only they destroyed every single Jewish synagogue in the area, they destroyed the greenhouses, ripped out the pipe, and even stole the copper out of the pipe.
I mean, this is crazy. The anti-Israel narrative that we hear everywhere is that, you know, Israel, they're these horrible occupiers that treats the Palestinians and the Gazan people like absolute trash. And then you hear how Israel set up Gaza with, you know, they've given them, so they set them up to have an amazing economy. They had these fantastic greenhouses. It could have been a super prosperous country. Israel did that. They didn't have to do that. They expelled themselves from Gaza after having been, over history, expelled from pretty much, the Jews having been expelled from pretty much everywhere in the Middle East. They've got one place to live in Israel, and you know, then they've expelled themselves from the Gaza Strip and allowed these people who, you know, from her history lesson, you know, they never owned that land in the past either. It's quite incredible the lengths that Israel has gone to be kind to these people, and yet we are constantly told that they are horrible, evil, genocidal maniacs.
And then they had an election. So in their first election, the first woman elected to the cabinet of Hamas was a woman by the name Nidal, the mother of al-Muqawama, they called her, the mother of the resistance. And she ran on the platform, I killed 3 of my sons, because she had videos of her sons, she dressing them in suicide bombers to go kill Israelis. She said, I already gave up 3 for the cause. I have another 7 to give. That's why she was elected.
Insane.
So that's a democratic election for Hamas. Israel did not put the Palestinians in a prison in Gaza. Hamas put the Palestinians in a prison in Gaza. Gaza could have been turned into Singapore. They had the money. They had more money pouring into the Palestinian territories and still do from all over the world. And what did they do with it? Build a tunnel infrastructure underneath bigger than the subway system in New York instead of helping their people. So those who scream about the occupation, the Palestinians have brought this on themselves again and again and again.
Wow.
So there we go. Pretty fantastic history lesson there about the reality of how Israel has treated Gazans and whether Israel has a right, the Israelis have a right to live where they live. Very impressive. And a lot of people who shared that said, I've never seen Piers Morgan so quiet, because normally when Piers Morgan interviews people, he's, he really, he keeps on cutting in to keep on pressing them with more questions. But I think she was just doing such a fantastic job of that history lesson there that, he had nothing to say. She knew her place and she was going to stand her ground and say what she wanted to say. So good on her. Free Palestine from Hamas. Hamas are the evil ones here. Hamas are the ones that are putting Gazans in misery. As she explained there, Israel set up Gaza to be a prosperous society that could have been like Singapore. Hamas did not want to take care of the people there and give them a good, prosperous life. They only cared about their terrorist mission to destroy Israel and to, take whatever wealth and money they have to either build these tunnels underground and or to spend it on, just mansions for top leaders of Hamas in Qatar and whatnot. Hamas are the ones that don't care about the Gazans. Israelis are the ones that do care about the well-being of the Gazans. The narrative is just so skewed. The Hamas propaganda machine is just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You wouldn't hear that on the BBC, would you? So anyway, there we go. That is the latest. That was Brigitte Gabriel. She is a Lebanese American activist who's in charge of ACT for America. You can check her out online if you want to. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.